Udja, Uben, Nefer, Nehast, Good Rising and Great Awakenings, and welcome to day 6 of 21 days of healing post-traumatic slave syndrome, self-care, and global prayer. And we are moving right along with this series, and I'm really glad that I started doing it again. All right, so since it's day 6, that means it's Sankofa Step 6. Remember, we're going through the 10 steps for healing post-traumatic slave syndrome that are laid out by Dr. Joy DeGruy in her workbook, Healing Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome. So Sankofa step number 6, control your inner world, manage stress and conflict. And my comment on that is we're talking about healing from slavery. And let's be honest, most of the stress and conflict that we're managing is a result of our encounter with the colonizers and soldiers and slave owners that caused a great deal of trauma for us and has been passed down to the generations. So we've been forced to live by the ways of the ways of the colonizer, the standards of the colonizer, the diet of the colonizer, the thoughts of the colonizer, the activities of the colonizer, the entertainment, like all of these things that are, paying bills for utilities, paying extra money for organic food rather than paying extra money for food that's been overly processed with additives. So when you just think about all the stress and conflict that we deal with, it's about having a life forced on us that was not, a life that is opposed to nature as opposed to humanity. And that is what is the cause of so much stress and conflict in the world. So we've got to learn how to, transcend this lifestyle. Look for a different lifestyle, one that is based on spiritual practices of our ancestors, not of our oppressors, based on the diet of indigenous people of our ancestors. For example, the kemetic diet, which is vegan. And then we have to be releasing trauma consistently, not just, when we're triggered. Releasing trauma and then reprogramming our DNA. And those last two things can be achieved with sound healing and other alternative energy therapies like Reiki, Raseiki. I don't know. There's lots of things. Crystals. There's lots of ways to reprogram the DNA. But it takes, intention and focus and consistency, which is one reason why I decided to start this series up again. Alrighty. So we started with the chart. That's how I like to do it. I like to do this work. So we start with the chart for May 16th. And since we're dealing with stress and conflict, I right away look for where is Mars, because Mars is associated with Set, and our lower natures, our fetters, and Set is battling, our lower nature is battling our spiritual aspiration, which is enlightenment. So there's this constant battle between Set and Heru. So today, Mars is in sidereal Aquarius, and in horoscopes, that would be Set and Ku, which is ruled by Uranus or Heru. So we'll be dealing with that energy, and then also Venus and the Sun are both in sidereal Taurus. Venus and Taurus are ruled by our Heru, and Ra is the Sun. So there was some conflict there. Ra sent Heru to Earth to eliminate the unrighteous because there was conflict, because they had forgotten who they were. They forgot their divinity. They didn't think they needed Ra, the creator. They didn't think they needed nature. I guess they thought they could do better. Kind of like what's going on now. And so those are the forces we're going to be using today. The extraordinary vessels are Chang and the Yin Wei, and the meridians are the liver and the gallbladder. Gallbladder is kind of tricky for self-care. And then the steps are anger, stress, mindfulness, use zodiac, Om, octave, the Chang and the Yin Wei. All right, so let's get on with the summary. All right, so let's get on with the self-care summary. All right, for the self-care work, like I said, if you don't have the tuning forks, you can use Raseiki, you can use Reiki, you can use acupressure, you can use crystals, stones, visualization, whatever your healing modality is. My modality is sound and tuning forks. And also, if you have a self-care kit or another tuning forks kit, you can use your forks too. Just, keep in mind what the intention is and apply your intention and just follow the meridians or the extraordinary vessel charts. So for today, we've chosen the liver and gallbladder combination for the meridians. Finding safety soothes stuck fight responses. The liver and gallbladder meridians mediate the fight response and help us see new possibilities. And again, this is some work done by these acupuncturists at the Crossing Healing Works, where she did work with survivors of military service that had PTSD, and these were the acupuncture points that she used to address the trauma. So I'm using them to address the trauma from post-traumatic slave syndrome. All right, so I did use the chart, the tuning forks on the meridians. I used Om and Uranus, or Anpu and Heru. I used Uranus and Mars, or Heru and Set. I also used the mid-range frequency. Those were the low range for really deep healing. And then of course I used Ra and Heteru, the Sun and Venus. I decided to add, I used Anpu and Nibiru. Nibiru is the planet that they say orbits the Earth every 3,200 years, or not orbits, it intersects with the orbit. And so we're like going through that right now, so I decided to use that. High frequency works. I hear them really good. Sometimes you can't hear them over the internet, over the camera. I might start using a microphone. Anyway, those are the tuning forks that I used on that meridian. Then we also did the Chong and the Yin Wei extraordinary vessel. Moving the chi between the kidneys, intergenerational patterns, treats cellular memory, genetic disorders, inherited traits, substance abuse, digestive center, difficult issues difficult to digest, grandparent, grandchild, ancestral imprinting, clears both muscle memory and cellular memory, trauma, PTSD, cellular memory, old trauma, even new trauma, kidney, reproductive issues, prostate issues, menstrual issues, the neutral space between the kidneys. And the Yin Wei is the one for the pericardium, for the heart protector, the inner gate, helps to unwrap the heart chakra. The Grinch who stole Christmas. Gets thicker with each new hit, trauma that is left unresolved, and the heart gets less and less space to express itself. Old heart chakra issues allows us to accept what we observe, to accept unconditional love. All right, so that is part of the, that was the intention for my sound healing and also during the global healing. And then the step was to address the anger, stress, mindfulness with Zodiac, Om, Octave, and the Chong and the Yin Wei. Zodiac, Om. And Zodiac, Om, Octave. All right, now it's time for the global. I just wanted to note that after I did the liver and gallbladder work, I just wanted to go lay down. I don't know, I just wanted to process some feelings, learn how to identify these different feelings, but I had to keep moving, so I didn't get to do that. But maybe next time I will just stop everything so I can process it. Dua Heru Dua Anpu Dua Neveru My inner self never believes that anything is stressful for any reason. My inner self is never stressed for any reason. My inner self does not believe that I should feel stressed for any reason. My inner self believes that it is always possible to be stress-free under any condition. My inner self never feels that anything I am doing is stressful for any reason. My inner self never feels pressured for any reason. Nukpu, Nukpura, Nukpu, Heteru, Nukpu, Nukpu se, Nukpu, Nukpu heru, Nukpu, Anpu, Nukpu, Neferu.